Hi everyone, my name is Andrea from the Overstuffed Bookcase, and this is the Booktuber Newbie Tag. I've seen a couple different Booktuber Newbie Tags on YouTube, and there was one from someone named Brenda C, and then I also saw one from Trina from Between Chapters. And the Brenda C one, I believe, is the original, and it has like 7 questions, and then from Between Chapters, it's several more questions, and they kind of go over the same thing but added more. So I've decided to answer Trina's from Between Chapters questions just because they're a little bit more info. So let's get started. Question 1: Where are you joining us from? I live in Washington State. I was born in Texas and also lived in Oklahoma. Mostly lived in Texas and Oklahoma for most of my life. Just moved to Washington State a few years ago. So if you notice an accent, it's probably a mix. Sometimes I have that southern accent and sometimes I don't. So now you know why. Question 2: How old are you? I am 36 years old. I'm 36. Yay. Question 3 is, why did you join Booktube? I joined Booktube because I have been a book blogger now for almost 5 years, since the beginning of 2012, and I never thought I was going to do Booktube videos. I've seen a lot of people do it. I've seen lots of different Booktubers. I've seen lots of different book bloggers who also have a Booktube channel, but I never thought I would actually do it. I'm not really camera shy, but I'm more kind of like video shy. I don't really like watching myself on video. My friend Kate always says that she has the face for radio, which is not true. She's beautiful, but I understand her sentiment. I've just never really enjoyed watching myself on video, so I never thought I would actually have a Booktube channel. But I started doing bullet journaling a few months ago, and I used it a lot for my book blog and for my reading, and I wanted to share how I used my bullet journal with other book bloggers and other readers. So as I was making that post and planning that post, I realized that it would probably be easier to make a video rather than just show a whole bunch of pictures of all my different bullet journaling modules. So that was my first video. That was my first ever YouTube video, and it was hard. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, the setup and everything involved. Even though it was really hard and frustrating, I kind of got the bug. I really wanted to make more videos. So I just decided to make this into a Booktube. Question 4 is, what is the meaning behind your Booktube channel name? My Booktube channel name is the Overstuffed Bookcase, which is the same name as my blog. I just came up with that name for my blog when I started it back in 2012. I just wanted something bookish. I wish I had done a little bit more research before I came up with that name, because it turns out there are several different blogs and things like that that have similar names, like My Overstuffed Bookshelves and a couple other blogs that have similar names. But I've had that name now for almost 5 years, and I enjoy it. I like it. And so that's why I just decided to make my Booktube channel have the same name. Question 5 is, what types of books do you like to read and we'll be talking about here? I mostly read young adult books. I do occasionally read adult books, and I've kind of gotten back into like adult thrillers and things lately. I also read middle grade. I love some really great middle grade. So mostly this Booktube channel will be about young adult books that I read, but there'll be other things here and there. Also, I have a feature on my blog called Kiddo's Corner Reviews, where my 7-year-old son reviews kids' books, chapter books, and early reader books and things that he's reading and that we read together. I've talked to him about doing some actual videos for this Booktube channel about that. He seems like he might be a little bit camera shy. We'll try it out and see what he thinks. But I'm excited to incorporate that into the Booktube channel as well. Question 6 is, who are some of your favorite authors? I, of course, love J.K. Rowling. Harry Potter is my favorite series. I also really love Scott Westerfeld's books. I love Tony Dieterlizzi's books, the Wanda series. I love Marissa Meyer. I love a lot of different YA. It's hard to pick favorite authors for me because there are a lot of different YA books that I read, and picking a favorite author is hard. I mean, J.K. Rowling, if obviously that's an obvious choice. I do like a lot of other authors as well. I just can't really think of them at the moment. Question 7 is, what is the last book you read? The last book I read was The Fixer by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I don't have a copy of it here with me because it was a library book and I already took it back. It's a YA mystery / thriller about a girl who goes to live with her sister who is a fixer in Washington, D.C. She is kind of like Olivia Pope from Scandal. I haven't watched too many episodes of Scandal, so I might be off base. But I think that it seems like her sister kind of does the same thing that Olivia Pope does on Scandal. And the main character kind of gets involved with this mystery and this corruption and things that are going on in DC. I didn't love it like I know a lot of other book bloggers do, but I enjoyed it and I really liked some of the characters I thought were really great. I really wished it had been a little bit more thrilling, but the end of it was really thrilling, but I was hoping for thriller throughout the whole book. Question 8 is, what are you currently reading? I'm currently reading 3 different books. The first one is Spare and Found Parts by Sarah Maria Griffin. This is an arc that I have. It's coming out in the beginning of October, and it is a YA book that is set after an epidemic, and a lot of people are missing body parts, and the main character's father is an inventor, and he created some really responsive prosthetic limbs and body parts that are, I think, even more responsive than the kind of prosthetic limbs that you can find today. And the main character, Nell, is the only person who has a mechanical part on the inside. She has a mechanical heart. She's also kind of a creator herself, and she decides that she's going to try and make a person. So I'm not very far into this book yet. I'm really enjoying it so far, and so I can't really say much more because I don't really know what else is going to happen in the book. The second book that I'm reading is Enclave by Anne Aguirre. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. I started this actually a couple months ago, and then I got into kind of a problem where I had a lot of other books that I needed to read for review and for my book club, and so I just put this one on hold. I'm about halfway through it. It's a zombie book. It's set in the future where there are zombies and people are living underground. It's set in New York, and the main characters live in this enclave in the underground, and then there are zombies that are roaming around in the underground as well. And then there's I can't remember exactly what they call it, but it's like above ground. Nobody goes there because people can't live there, people can't survive there, and the 2 main characters get exiled from their enclave, and they have to go above ground. This one is really good. I'm really enjoying it, and I hope to get back to it soon and finish it. And then the third book I'm reading is Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. I have been reading this book for like 2 years now because it's huge. I'm a slow reader, and it takes forever for me to read, especially books like this. Like high fantasy books take me longer to read. High fantasy books, they're so much denser than contemporary, for example. So they just take me longer to read anyway, and then these books are just really, really dense, and they just have so much going on. I'm caught up with the show. So this is the second book. So I'm behind on the books. I'm caught up with the show. And I'm not really too worried about catching up with the books because it's just going to take me forever. So anyway, this I would love to finish sometime soon, but since I'm such a slow reader, I have to read other books in the meantime. So this one just is on the back burner. It's just whenever I kind of am in the mood, I read this one. Question 9 is, what do you use for bookmarks? I mostly use bookmarks. I have several that I really like. Sometimes I keep them in these little plastic cases. I don't know why. I just like to keep them nice. This is one that my mom got for me from Rome, from St. Peter's Basilica. I've been to Rome before, and I loved it. It's one of my favorite cities in the world, and the last time my mom went, she got me a bookmark. My friend Courtney gave me this bookmark. I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and so this is one of the ones I use a lot. And this one, I probably should have kept in the case. Or I don't know if it came with a case, but it's getting all frayed at the edges. And then in my Game of Thrones book, A Clash of Kings, I have this bookmark, which I actually got from Florence when I was there, and I had my initials put in, and I got some from my old book club. It's like the top part came off, but I really love this bookmark. It's leather. It's pretty cool. And one of my other favorite bookmarks that I don't really use often because I don't want to mess it up is this Disappearing TARDIS bookmark that my friend Jessie made for me. She cross stitches and she made it. It's awesome. Those are just some of my favorite ones. I have lots of different bookmarks, but those are some of my favorites. Question 10 is show us your current TBR pile. My current TBR pile is kind of strange. Okay, I'll see if I can. It's kind of strange. It's kind of got some weird books on it right now. I'll just go through real quick. I'm reading the Attack on Titan books, and I love them. They're awesome. They're amazing. I'm sad that I'm getting close to the end, or close to caught up, I guess. It's not the end. So I'll be reading these that I got from my library soon. I got this book from Quirk Books. I really think it looks really cool. It's geek parenting. I'm a parent. I have 2 boys, and I'm always going to be a geek. I'm always going to be a nerd, and I'm going to always talk about Harry Potter and Game of Thrones and Doctor Who and everything like that. And so I think this would be a really cool, cute, and probably quick read. And then the rest of these are also from for review. They're from Workman Publishing. And there's this Eek Halloween. It's a baby board book. And Frightlopedia. It's an encyclopedia of everything's scary, creepy, and spine-chilling. And then Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods. Paper Toy Globots. This is has got like robots in there that you punch out and you make. Pretty cool. And Oh Ick, which is all kinds of science experiments. So these last 5 are all from Workman Publishing. And my son and I will be reviewing these. And there'll be a giveaway also for them, which will be awesome. I also have Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst on my TBR, but it is in my Kindle, so I can't show that to you. But that's going to be another one that I read soon. Question 11 is, which do you prefer, hardback or paperback, ebooks or physical books, and owning or borrowing? I prefer paperback. I don't know why. I like hardback books to look nice on my shelves, but I prefer paperback books to read. I just find them the easiest to read. I definitely like physical books over ebooks. I have a Kindle, but I only really use that occasionally for books for review. I do own some books on my Kindle, but I always forget about them, which I feel bad about. And this year, I've been borrowing tons of books from my library. I've been reading all those Attack on Titan books, and my son and I have been borrowing some books, and then I've been checking out books for my book club, and I've just been using the library a lot this year. I love owning books. I like to buy books a lot, but I do love my library, and I find it really nice to be able to go and find a book at the library if I'm not sure that I really want to own it. Question 12 is, what book or book series got you into reading? I read a whole bunch when I was a kid, all the time. Loved going to the library and going to the bookstore when I was a kid. Books that I loved as a kid, I can't even think. I mean, I loved the Sweet Valley Twins books and the Babysitter's Club books and Judy Blume books and all that kind of stuff. And then I moved when I was 11. And after that came what I call the dark days. I was so just obsessed with being popular and finding new friends and finding my place in this new where I live. I mean, I was a middle school girl. It was not an easy time for me. And for some reason, I thought that reading was not cool, which is not true. Reading is cool. Reading is very cool. Anyway, 11-year-old me did not think reading was cool, so I just stopped reading except for school. Even though I wrote poetry in high school and I knew I wanted to be a writer, I still just didn't read that much. And then as I got older, I started reading a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And when I was in college, my mom told me, Andrea, you need to read these books. They're really good. And I'm like, Harry Potter, Mom? Those are kids' books. I don't want to read those books. But then I saw the first movie and I fell in love. And so, yeah, I'm a person who, first of all, didn't read the books until after I saw the first movie. And second of all, I was in college when I started reading them. And there were only 3 or 4 books out when I started reading them. So I was around still for many of the midnight releases and pretty much all the movies releases and everything. So Harry Potter definitely got me back into reading. And then from there, I started reading all kinds of other different things. Twilight also helped get me back into reading. It was really popular and I just gobbled them up. I don't love them anymore. They're not my favorites, but I did find them entertaining and I did enjoy them at the time. I mean, I gobbled them up and they were fun. I also got into the Sookie Stackhouse books. I started reading those, and then I started reading the Hunger Games books, and then I joined a book club. This is probably way too much information, but one thing you should know about me is I'm wordy. I'm talkative. I talk a lot. My stories are long, drawn out. Yeah. Anyway, then I joined a book club, and a couple of the girls in that book club were very much into young adult books. And so they kind of opened that door for me. And I just became obsessed. And then I started my book blog, and I've been reading young adult ever since. And when I moved here to Washington State, I started a book club for adults who like to read young adult books. Question 13 is, how did you discover Booktube? I had watched some YouTube channels, Vlogbrothers and things like that. And then becoming a book blogger, I noticed that there were some book bloggers who also made videos. And I don't think I heard the term Booktube until, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago maybe. I don't know. That's a weird question. I don't know. It's a hard question. Like, I don't know if I can really pinpoint exactly when I heard of Booktube or the first Booktuber I ever watched or anything like that. I know Kat from Katie Tastic. I kind of, in a roundabout way, met her because we both did NaNoWriMo, and I was a municipal liaison for my area for NaNoWriMo. And for some reason, she and this guy decided that they were going to get NaNoWriMo married, like fake married. And the guy who she was getting fake married to was a member of my area. And so he asked me to be the officiant for their NaNoWriMo wedding. So I was the person who was like, you are now married. I don't know. I don't really remember what all I said. I tried to come up with some clever things to say, but it was just like in a forum. It was silly. It was cute. And so it was kind of cool to do that with her. So I guess I'm guessing that Katie Tastic is probably one of the first booktubers that I ever watched. Question 14 is, what challenges do you think you'll face with your own channel? I think a big thing for me will be kind of getting used to watching myself on video while I'm editing and just getting used to the process, getting used to filming, getting used to setting up, getting used to the editing. I'm not looking forward to editing this video. I can tell you that because the videos that I've done so far, I haven't had to do heavy editing or this kind of editing for this kind of style video yet. So it's going to be interesting. Question 15 is, where else can we find you? Link up. I will leave all my links in the description, but my blog is theoverstuffedbookcase.com. You can find me on Instagram at @overstuffedbook. I'm also on Twitter at @overstuffedbook. I'm on Goodreads. I don't know the link to that, so I'll just put that in the description. And I also have a Facebook page, The Overstuffed Bookcase. So come and find me. So thank you to everyone for watching this video. I hope you have learned a little bit more about me and what my booktube channel is going to be all about. I'll talk to you later. Bye.